Hi, I'm Mario Dwyer, and I'm here with the Murrieta Holistic Chamber of Commerce, and this is our Healthy Living videocast. The mission of this videocast is to connect with our local community here in the Temecula Valley area, providing proven and trusted resources, highlighting local holistic professionals so that you can live a longer, healthier life. And today I'm really excited to introduce you to the actual co-host of this videocast, but he is also the owner of Kitchen Fantasy. This is Ernie Rodriguez, so welcome. And Ernie is the owner of Kitchen Fantasy, which is a full-service kitchen store. They provide cooking classes, knife sharpening, and they are a tremendous resource for any cookware, kitchen gadgets that you want. So in other words, I can't let my husband in there unsupervised. But I love your store, Ernie. So tell us a little bit about how that came into being.
Sure. Thanks. And I'm glad to be here, Mary. Glad to be part of this holistic Chamber of Commerce. As a holistic devotee myself, I like to provide people with resources for healthy living. And Kitchen Fantasy, our focus is we're community-based. And I like the idea of getting people together, getting people, especially now with COVID, we've been locked down and everybody's Zoom meeting and stuff, which is fine, but I like to get people out. So at Kitchen Fantasy, you can come and actually physically touch. You can look at kitchen gadgets, bring by your knives, have your knife sharpened, and we do the cooking classes. So you could do date night cooking classes. You could, if you have girls' night out or anything like that, you can come. And I'm launching a series of healthy living cooking classes, which kind of goes with this a little video cast. So I'm going to teach you about probiotics and good healthy food and that sort of thing. And but as a community, so we'll be getting together, all hands on, all cooking together, and talking about maybe some of the challenges we have with cooking and why we're attached to certain foods and sugar. One of our Janine was telling us about sugar, and it's a battle for me. So I like to get it out in the open, and I like to talk to people. And I think Kitchen Fantasy, a cooking class, is a great venue, to get it out there. But even if you're cooking stuff with a lot of salt and a lot of sugar, at least you're making your own. It's like the segue to healthy living. Cook your own food. Don't go to those fast food places. That processed stuff, step one is get off the process. Get off the sugar, fat, sugar, and salt. Get off the processed foods. Start doing it yourself. So that's where we're a resource for the community.
And I think that's got so much value because cooking has become a lost art. Yes. There's a lot of people that are growing up, a lot of you that are listening or watching that maybe are unfamiliar with the kitchen. Maybe you were a latchkey kid, and living a busy life, and everything is so busy here in Temecula Valley with traffic and trying to get your kids here and there and all that and commuting to work. So getting into the kitchen might be scary for some of our viewers, Ernie. So what would you say for a novice cooker? Like, where is a great place to start?
Well, I'm sitting here next to an Irish girl, so I like shepherd's pie. I love doing shepherd's pie, and I can make a vegan shepherd's pie. You probably use mutton, where you're from,
Traditionally, yes, it is lamb. I usually make it with beef here, and I'm actually vegetarian, so I don't eat it at all.
Oh, cool.
But somehow I still manage to, on automatic pilot, just make it without tasting it. It's just in the DNA.
So if you wanted to be vegan, you could do jackfruit, or if you wanted to ease into something a little healthier, that's why I love shepherd's pie. You could do ground turkey, which is obviously not vegan, but it's a little healthier, a little less fat. And then, shepherd's pie is really nice because you're going to learn some knife skills with your mirepoix. You're beginning, you learn how to make a roux, which is really nice to do. And some of the other things you could do, you play around with the potatoes. You have your tomato paste you put in, which is rich in lycopene, which is actually really good for you. I like using parsnips. Parsnips is a potato. You can mix parsnips and get maybe a Yukon Gold or, God forbid, a sweet potato. And really, really changing it a little bit.
If you're Irish, you will not get on board with that at all.
This is an American style. So, I love teaching kids how to do shepherd's pie because they can make their own. It's a little single serving. And, we're putting in fresh peas in there, so we've got some fresh peas going in there. And I can use, maybe a walnut cheese, a nut cheese substitute, or a nutritional yeast or something like that, So, or you can just make it. You make the authentic, original one with the potatoes and the ground beef and the cheese on top of it. It's still better than buying fast food. know.
And this is what I do with mine. I don't put my sweet potatoes in with my mashed potatoes. My mashed potatoes are, pure Irish mashed potatoes with all the good stuff. That's not so great for us, but for the occasional time you indulge. However, I do put all sorts of veg. I put celery, I put mushrooms, I put carrots, I put all sorts of stuff in with the meat. So that's where you could add if you're a purist about the potatoes like me, you could add your cauliflower, your sweet potatoes, just chop it up really fine. And about pea size, I literally chop them up so they're about the size of the peas. My family don't like peas, so I've never included peas. But there's all sorts of vegetables that you can exchange in there. So I do love that. And that is definitely a very seasonal and wonderful place to start. Quick off script talk, question kind of, where can you get a good jackfruit? I've been looking for jackfruit.
Okay, so most of the Asian markets have jackfruit.
Okay.
But if you're cooking, a great question. So I love jackfruit. I love my wife and I literally go to Asian markets, believe it or not. We look at all the weird fruits and vegetables. Fresh jackfruit is not good to cook with, okay, because you're using the flesh from jackfruit, okay? So you want to buy the canned green jackfruit in water, okay? So it's going to be in a brine. That's the stuff that vegans use, and it's very easy. Otherwise, you've got to go through all this whole process. And it's very, very fleshy. So it's really hard to work with. But if you buy a jackfruit, the sweet part of it is just amazing. Have you ever tried jackfruit?
I've had jackfruit in restaurants, and that's why I've been looking for it here, and everywhere I look, I can't find it. So
and the
the
smallest one is as big as John Grant over here. But no, they do sell it in pieces.
Okay, so it's a great resource.
It's just really fun.
Okay. So my big takeaways from you is just get in the kitchen and get fun. Come to your cooking classes where you sound like it's very hands-on, very friendly, and then the third takeaway is to look for healthier options, like substitute out. If you don't want to go all the way vegan, look for the healthiest protein source. Go for the turkey over the beef is what I'm hearing. So
you can kind of ease into it,
Yeah, ease into it bit by bit. So.
That's right.
Okay, so any special offers for our listeners and viewers today?
Yes, as a matter of fact, we have, if you go to our website and sign up for our email list, you'll get 10% off your first cooking class. Check out our cooking classes at kitchenfantasy.com. If you sign up for 4 more cooking classes, you'll get 10% off. And some people like to bring a group, so if you sign up for 10 cooking class, you get 20% off. But it has to be an existing cooking class. We do team building stuff. We do private events. We do all kinds of stuff. We do one-on-one, which are a little pricey, but sometimes people want to just learn how to cook with a professional chef and just do a one-on-one thing. But I really encourage cooking with friends and family. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, I think it's a great night idea with Valentine's Day coming up. Absolutely. Or maybe if you're listening to this, Valentine's Day might have passed. I'm not sure when we'll get this out there. But Valentine's Day will come around again.
Right.
So keep that in your back pocket. Kitchen Fantasy has been here since 1988, so it's not going anywhere anytime soon. Yeah. Thank you so much, Ernie. It's been a pleasure. And
thank you. That was wonderful.
Yes, and we look forward to having you as our co-host for our future interviews. So. All right. Thanks again.